Hello guys, welcome to my channel in another video of Angular 5 versus Angular 6. So far we have seen different versions of Angular. The first one was MVC based Angular JS. Then the next versions are component based, which includes Angular 2 and then Angular 4, and then next version was Angular 5. Now the latest version of Angular has also been released, which is Angular 6. So many of you wants to know what's the difference between Angular 5 and Angular 6. So let me tell you some of the major features, changes and major differences between Angular 5 and Angular 6. But first, please, if you haven't subscribed my channel, support my channel by subscribing it. If you are expecting that Angular 6 is completely written or completely a different version of Angular, then that's not the case. In fact, Angular 6 is an extended version of Angular 2, or to be precise, Angular 5. Let me brief you some of the major differences between Angular 5 and Angular 6. The first major change in Angular 6 is the introduction of CDK, Component Dev Kit. CDK is actually extension of Angular Materials core functions. So let me brief you about the main idea behind Component Dev Kit. CDK's first stable release was launched in December 2017. If you're not familiar with Angular Material offers a complete set of accessible, high-performance, feature-rich components in its library. But there are some components which are not offered in Angular Material. So CDK is there to help you. In CDK now you can create your own components using the core functions of Angular Material. The CDK is further divided into sub-packages of different roles and responsibilities, and you can use these tested feature sets of CDK sub-packages for accessibility, layout, tables, overlays, and many more components. So that's all for Component Dev Kit. I'll make another video in which I'll create custom components using core functions of Angular Material in CDK. The next main feature in Angular 6 is Angular Elements. Angular Elements are Angular components packaged as custom elements. In other words, now you can use Angular components outside of your Angular application. If you want to allow others to embed your Angular components or even full applications in other apps written in any other framework, Angular Elements is for you. It will let you publish your Angular components as web components that can be used anywhere in any application. Although Angular Element is still in development, but you might see this feature in the early updates of Angular 6. The next main feature in Angular 6 is IV rendered. If you wish Angular was smaller, simpler in debugging, and faster in compilation, then you have got Angular's new renderer, IV render. And since it comes as a non-breaking change, so it means you will get it automatically in future release by just staying on Angular's updated release. And next thing is Angular CLI 1.7. Angular CLI 1.7 brings better support for Angular Service Worker, Angular Universal, and App Shell. So now let me discuss them one by one. Now Angular CLI includes better support for Angular Service Worker. Angular Service Worker was launched with Angular 5 as a new feature so that it can increase the reliability and performance of your single page applications. It was designed to improve user experience of using an application over a slow or unreliable network. Service Worker support was designed to cache Angular application and use like an installed native application. Now you can create your Angular application with Service Worker support using this command ngnew project name -- service worker, or you can add it in existing app using this command @angular/service worker. Now let's talk about Angular Universal. But first let me tell you a bit about Angular Universal. Angular Universal is a technology that runs your Angular application on the server. A normal Angular application executes on the browser by rendering your Angular pages in the DOM, but Angular Universal generates static pages on the server through a process called SSR, means server-side rendering. The main reason to create a universal version of your Angular application is to facilitate SEO, search engine optimization, and to improve performance of your Angular application on mobile and low power devices, and to load your first page quickly. Now with improved CLI in your Angular 6 applications, you can add Angular Universal in your application using this command ngGenerate universal and name. This will create universal module in your current application. And next, to build your universal application, you can use this command ngbuild --app and name. And the next is app shell. App shell is a bit like Angular Universal. Now you can build an application shell in your Angular application, which will create a static first render of your Angular application, and you will have a better experience while your application is being loading. You can use this command to generate app shell in your Angular application. ngGenerate app shell. Then you can configure universal app name and route as well. And the next difference is Angular 6 now supports Typescript 2.7. Previously in Angular 5 we saw that Angular supports 2.4, 2.5, and in last updates we saw that Angular supports 2.6 as well. But with the new version of Angular, we will see a support of 2.7 in Angular 6, which means you will be able to use new features of Typescript 2.7 in Angular 6 as well. And next, there is an update in Nglf template error message. Previously in Angular 5, when setting a non-template to a then block of Nglf template condition, it behaves abnormally and gives an error of template reference dot create embedded view is not a function. Now when setting a non-template to then block in Nglf condition, it will give a better error rather than behaving strangely. And next, there is a validation update in Angular Forms. A pending state has been added to abstract control and a function to set that state on themselves and their parents. Now, abstract control static change emits an event pending when you call abstract control markAsPending. Previously in Angular 5, it did not emit an event when you call markAsPending. And next, there is a main update in Angular platform browser package. If you have used hammer.js in your Angular application for touch events, you might have came across an error hammer.js not loaded. That error is fixed in Angular 6, and now you can configure hammer options in hammer.js as well. And next, there is an update in Angular Forms NgModelChange. NgModelChange now emits after its value or validity is updated in its control. Previously in Angular 5, NgModelChange was emitted before its validity or value was updated. The new NgModelChange looks like this. And next, there is an update in Angular Forms Form Builder. Now you can use multiple validations for array method of form builder. Previously in Angular 5, there was no option to have multiple validations for array method of form builder. And next, there are few updates in Angular Bazel. The first one is the new rule has been added to Bazel is that there is a factory attribute which allows explicit specification of which files are expected to generate factories. This will avoid generating empty factory files. And next, you can type check the template in Angular 6. In Angular 5, there was no option to type check the template. Now in Angular 6, NgModule type check the template by default. You can disable this option by simply adding a rule type check false. And the next update is in Bazel compiler. Bazel now rebuilds only what is necessary to rebuild. And And next there are few additional updates. The first one, the support of native element has been added in Angular 6. And also optional generic type for element reference has been added in Angular 6 as well. Then there are a few updates regarding test. Test comment has been added in Angular 6, and missing life cycle of tests for projected components have also been added in Angular 6. And last, please subscribe my channel if you like my video and give your feedback by commenting. I'll make another video in which I'll teach you how to use new features of Angular 6 in detail. So please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.